What's up, everyone? It's Spencer. It is Saturday. We are going to work on the Navi. The fiance is out of town, so we have all day, and I'm excited. We are going to get the DIY-ish tail tidy put together and finish replacing the turn signals with some little LED ones. I'm going to catch you up to what I've done so far, and then I got some cutting, some drilling, and some welding to do, and then we'll come back for the install of the full final tail tidy. Here's what we've done so far, though. We took off the old license plate hanger, old turn signals, old chunky reflectors, and this is what we're putting on instead. This is a Kemimoto universal tail tidy that is almost universal for what we need. This old stock one has a pretty narrow two mounting points, which is a bummer because this mounting plate on the Kemimoto, the bolts end up right about there. It'd be a pain to drill it out. So we're gonna make a short little adapter plate to go between those two out of just this 1" by 1/8" flat stock. It comes with some turn signal stock places that you can put in there. These turn signals were 15 bucks. I think this was 25. I'll put affiliate links down below. This was 4 bolts total to get off. You could probably do it in 2, but I gave myself some extra room. I'll show you how I got that off here in a second. First step I did was actually remove these 2 bolts right here. They were a number 2 JIS, and then came up above, and it's these 2 silver bolts right here. Mine are actually on there pretty tight, so you might need to give it some oomph. And then that whole thing will drop off. You'll kind of have to push on this plastic bit, and that's why we took those 2 screws out, just to give yourself a little bit more wiggle room. And then just to get everything out of the way, I actually unconnected the brake light connector, and then your turn signals go into these bullet connectors right here. Whole thing pops off, might take you 5 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna get working on this adapter plate. It's just gonna be a piece of that bar stock with a few nuts welded on, I think. That's the hardest part of this whole install. You do have to have some specialty tools. I'm sure someone who's smarter than me could figure out a different way of doing it, but I have the materials. I have a little welder in the corner. We're just gonna make it ourselves. So I'm gonna do some cutting, some grinding, some welding, and then we'll come back after that. All right, we are nearing the finish line on this. The Kemimoto bracket, ended up chopping that off just to make it fit easier. You could have left it long, but there's no point. This is the little bracket that I made. It is literally a piece of iron, 1/8" with 4 nuts welded onto it. This narrower part will go into under the seat, and this part here is going to go into the Kemimoto. We're actually going to connect the Kemimoto part because I think that is going to be a little bit more tricky of the two. The nice part about the way that this is slotted is if I was a little bit off in my measurements and welding, which is completely possible because I am not great at either of those. Even when I measure something, it always seems to be off somehow. All right, so the 2 brackets are now married together. We'll pop it up under. Yeah, get a better camera angle here. Cool. I'm actually reusing the stock bolts that came with it. So let's fish this back up underneath. Align our 2 holes. And I accidentally put a lot of heat into one of these. They are definitely now 2 different colors. Whoops. Okay. We'll tighten this. I'll leave it a little loose for now because I don't actually believe that I'm not going to need to adjust this somehow. And, all right. We got one more adjustment to make real quick. Bring it in here. All right, so this Kemimoto, you can actually adjust the depth of it. So we're gonna do that in just a second. Get the right Allen key though. That's the wrong Allen key. Good on me. So I should be able to actually go in closer than that. There's two different holes that you can put this bolt through. There's a nut on the back side of it. So I'm actually gonna transfer that over to back here. Oh, looks like I need to cut my zip tie too. No biggie. You gotta love a close-up video angle with no one in it, right? Cool. All right. Now, nut is still on the back side. That's good. Okay. This Kemimoto is actually, I mean, it was 25 bucks on Amazon. I did have to mod it a little bit, but it's all aluminum. The powder coating actually looks pretty nice. We'll get that locked up. I mean, the nuts on the back side of this are nylock, so I'm not actually all that worried about them rotating out or anything. It's pretty sturdy. The only thing I wish it had is some kind of a provision for cable management. We are just going to tuck our wires up, and I'm sure I'll come back. I don't know if I will put maybe some shrink wrap on here to go and actually cover up in the back of the stem going into the LEDs, or we'll see. All right, now let's go back up. And we should just have to plug in our turn signals. So let's see, this is our left, I believe. Left was orange, so these turn signals I'm using actually came pre-terminated with the bullet terminals. They might be a little, there's two small sizes of bullet terminals. I think these ones are actually the wrong size. They're the little bit smaller variety, but these aren't gonna have any tension on them. It's not something I'm really all that concerned about. All right, and then we will plug in our brake light again. Tuck that guy back up. And let's see. Oh, I left the bike on, whoops. Not that the lights run anyway. I wired something wrong. Interesting. What the hell did I do? We'll figure this out. Look at this thing of just absolute beauty. I am so tickled with how it came out. I think this looks great. I mean, when you compare it to what the stock one was, it is night and day different. This is exciting. I did have one quick stumbling block, as you may have noticed at the end of the last scene. I went to replace the front turn signals with LEDs as well, and got all four flashers flashing at the same time, which is not desirable. What I am assuming is happening is where the two positive leads coming into the dash indicator are meeting up. It's transferring one back over to the other circuit, and there's just not enough resistance against that, like would be provided in a standard incandescent bulb, to block it. So for now, we still have these stock incandescents. These are awesome. They're blinking. I need to adjust them. There's a little dial you can adjust the turn signal. This is not hyper flash. This is just, I left it blinking a little fast. I'm so tickled. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Turn signals were $15 on Amazon for a pack of 4. I'm hoping that with just a couple diodes, we can get the fronts dialed in too, and that shouldn't be too terrible in theory. The actual thing itself was, I think, $25, and then I had like a 5% off or some special deal on it. But yeah, I think it looks 1,000 times better than stock. I am absolutely happy. If you have just a little bit of fabrication skills, you don't need to be a welder. I could have made that bracket probably with like nut certs on either side. You just wouldn't have been able to torque it down as tight without risking those spinning on you. But this is, I mean, an afternoon, an evening of work. I would say majority of it was just figuring out what was going on with the all flashing and cleaning up and painting and waiting for paint to dry. And yeah, so I'm gonna end this with some, sweeping shots of what it looks like. Pretend like there's some cool music there. That's not one of my strong suits. And I'm not gonna put some over it, I'm sorry, but just imagine there's some sweeping panoramic music. Thanks for watching. Hope you stay tuned for the next one. Just got a tank bag, or a tail bag rather, that we're gonna put on. And then once I figure out that diode for the front headlight bucket, we'll get the front turn signal swapped out as well. All right, let's end it on some beauty shots. Pretend there's epic music, even though there really isn't. And I'm just rolling around my garage on the little shop stool I have. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.